All right, folks, there was a request to do problem number 2 from the multiple choice, which says, what is the probability that a driver was seriously injured? Well, when I reread the initial prompt, it says a recent Maryland study found that 77% of accidents, the driver was wearing a seatbelt, which means 23% of the time the driver was not wearing a seatbelt. And it says accident reports indicate that 92% of the drivers escaped injury. So 92% of people who were wearing seatbelt escaped injury. 63% of the non-belt drivers escaped injury. So we want to know what the probability of serious injury was. So that's going to be the probability you wore the seatbelt and were injured, plus the probability you did not wear the seatbelt and you were injured. Now, the probability you wore the seatbelt and you were injured is probability of seatbelt, 0.77, they give me that, times the probability of being seriously injured while wearing the seatbelt, which is 0.08. How did I find that? Because 92% of those who wore the seatbelt were not injured. So that means 8% of those who wore the seatbelt were seriously injured. Plus, the probability of no seatbelt, that's 0.23. How did I get that? Well, 0.77 is the probability that people did wear their seatbelt, so 0.23 is the probability that they didn't wear their seatbelt, times the probability of being seriously injured while not wearing the seatbelt, that's 37%. How did I get that? Because 63% of those who wore the seatbelt were not injured, so 37 who did not wear the seatbelt were injured. If you want to think about this as a tree, that might be helpful. Seatbelt, no seatbelt. The seatbelt is 77%. The no seatbelt is 0.23. Then we have seriously injured and no injury. No injury while wearing seatbelt is 0.92. Serious injury is 0.08. No seatbelt, serious injury is no serious injury. It's 0.63. This is 0.37. So I want to look at seatbelt and serious injured. So that's this branch right here, 0.77 times 0.08. And I want to look at no seatbelt and serious injured, 0.23 times 0.37. And we get our answer when we add it up, 0.1467, answer choice D.